we move to Europe, and I have the pleasure to invite Dirk Vansintjan. Dirk is the president of the kind of European umbrella organization for community energy initiatives, RESCOOP. Dirk, I understand also you're personally involved in a community project in Belgium. You're based in Belgium. So we look forward to hearing your perspective. I know things are now developing on the European level with the Green Deal, but also with energy communities. Looking forward to hearing from Dirk.
Oops. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Yes, you can see it.
And see you, your hand up. That looks good.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. I have the task to tell in 15 minutes what happens in Europe with energy cooperatives, with energy communities. And hearing the first speakers, I added already slides, but I won't have time to go into details now. I recently wrote an article for Euractiv, and you will find a link in the presentation. And the title is "A Resilient EU Economy Must Be Built on Strong Local Communities." If you read this article, you will see what we advise the European Commission to do now with the crisis. You see also the picture with the Corona beer crates. Well, that's a picture taken at our watermill, where our cooperative started in 1985, first as an association, later as a cooperative. And a day after the lockdown, when first day of the lockdown, these beer crates arrived at our watermill. I think some people held a party. It must have been very funny. I think this party with Corona beer. So, what is RESCOOP? Who are we? We think that across Europe there are about 3,400 energy cooperatives. Not all of them have a cooperative legal entity, but we consider them as cooperatives when it's about people working together on renewable energy and energy efficiency and other energy-related aspects. Our federation was created at the end of 2013 and now represents 1,500 of these energy cooperatives, about 1 million citizens. We have 9 employees and a board of 8 cooperatives. So we have individual members, federations, and associated members. When you look on our website, you can find a map where energy cooperatives or energy community projects can register themselves. Not all of them are present, luckily, otherwise you wouldn't see the map anymore. But you see a tendency that it's more something of Northwestern Europe than of Eastern Europe, where there are hardly any. And also in the southern part of Europe and the Balkan area, they are very rare. They're very rare. So we have indeed federations. Not in every country there's a federation. Like for instance, Denmark, it seems there are about 1,000 energy cooperatives, district heating cooperatives, but also wind cooperatives. But they are not organized they don't have a federation so far. And then we have the individual members. I won't go into that. And we also have associated members. These are organizations, energy agencies, or advise engineering companies that advise energy cooperatives. So this is our team. If you get the slides, you can have our telephone numbers and email addresses. The board, it's our people who represent 8 cooperatives. We collaborate on the European level with the Community Power Coalition, which is with its environmental organizations like Greenpeace Europe, Can Europe, Friends of the Earth Europe, but also the city networks like ICLE, Climate Alliance, and energy cities, some of the cooperative family, so Cooperatives Europe. We're also recognized by the International Cooperative Alliance and its European wing, Cooperatives Europe, as a new sector. And so this is remarkable. After 150 years, there was a new sector, the energy cooperatives. We are also part of the Coalition for Energy Savings Bridge and the Small is Beautiful campaign. So our federation is active on the European level. And we worked very hard over the past few years. The European Union was revising all its directives on energy. And we worked very hard to get a role for citizens, since they become prosumers. They have solar panels on their roofs, and they all have batteries, these people. They have electrical cars, so they can play a role in the energy system of the future. And so we worked very hard to get rights for citizens. We teamed up with the consumer organizations and all kinds of other lobby groups that were in favor of this in Brussels. And we are very proud we got for our existing members and also for future energy community power initiatives that we got definitions. In the Electricity Directive, it's called Citizens Energy Community. And in the Renewable Energy Directive, it's called Renewable Energy Community. So the definitions are not identical, but almost. These definitions, they will give us, now when they are transposed in every member state, have to be transposed. This will give also citizens in these regions where we're not very present, the opportunities we've had already in Northwestern Europe, or they should give these people, these citizens, the same rights and support. So we now have the Green New Deal, and we're facing COVID-19 now. There was in the previous, one of the previous speakers told something, and this made me think. We often give, it was the speaker of ICLE, when member states ask us, yes, but what's a good policy to promote community energy? We often refer to the Scottish example, where already some years ago, 5-6 years ago, they created a support mechanism for community energy. It was not only a financial scheme that helped them overcome the initial financing of studies and for the project. So when the project failed, it was a grant. When it succeeded, it was a loan with an interest, but there was also technical, juridical advice. And what's very important, it was combined with a community energy sub-target. So there was not only a renewable energy target, but there was also a sub-target for community energy, and this worked very well. And it seems that now some other member states will follow this example. So this is on Euractiv. This is the article I wrote there. You can look it up. So we, as a federation, we participate at the European level in several projects, Interact projects or Horizon 2020 projects. The photograph you see here is a meeting we did in Redon, in France, in Brittany. We hope soon we will be able to have meetings like this again, but now this seems frightening to me. So we try to spread the model, and in this project ECHO, it's quite amazing that we teamed up with farmers organizations, quite often quite conservative farmers organizations, and their idea was, well, farmers they are disconnected from their neighbors, from the village. Because they pollute, they exploit animals, and they use insecticides and pesticides. And the idea was, let's try to reconnect with the community through energy production, renewable energy production. And so this is, it turns out to be a very successful idea. And the idea is that all these ECHOs, they will become a member of our federation afterwards. Must go faster. We have several Horizon 2020 projects where we also prepare for the future, the future smart grid, where we think and work on the role of the flexibility of prosumers, the flexibility of communities, battery storage at the neighborhood level, and things like that. You can find all this on our website. We, together with one of the cities and municipalities networks, Climate Alliance and 3E, we have a service contract with the European Commission especially for helping islands in the energy transition. So that's another aspect of our federation. We've been very active in last year in more than 100 events across Europe and even in Turkey and in Rwanda. So we're quite close to our things we can't do anymore now. Close to our members, or in Kigali, we were very far from our members, but it was a very interesting conference on development. And in Africa, energy cooperatives are also a hot topic and a solution for communities. So we've been advocating for the model at the European Commission and member states. And next year we will have a big event in Copenhagen. We hope it will be physical. And maybe you can already write down the date. The picture here is of the Middelgrunden offshore wind farm just outside the port of Copenhagen. And half of it is owned by the local energy cooperative Middelgrunden. So that's the end of my presentation. I didn't touch upon everything, but yeah, that's it.
Yeah, thank you so much. And Dirk, it is really great to see just your organization, how the organization has been growing. And I remember that when we had this conference in 2012 in Bonn, I think there was some pre-organization established, and now seeing that you really play an active role in Brussels, that's really great. And thank you for giving us an idea of where you stand in Europe, how you see the European situation. Of course, we have more speakers now from Europe which will go into